and in 5 straight weekends, Southern Miss has won a series. They have swept their last 2 against Louisiana Lafayette and Missouri State. Over that stretch, Southern Miss has won 8 of its last 9 games. They are now 12-6 overall and limited to Missouri State to 2 runs over the weekend. Scott Berry joins us right now on the Farm Bureau phone line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team, Mississippi Farm Bureau. Coach playing some, it seems like, pretty good baseball. And I think I read a quote, and it may have been out of context, but I think I read where you said you felt like your team was kind of starting to find an identity. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, and I don't know where I said that, but I think
maybe
now,
I just made it up.
You might have made it up. You've been on vacation for a week, so you've had a lot of things to just kind of create on that time.
You're as bad as everybody else. It was 3 days. Come on.
Well, I hope you had a great time. But
we did.
Back
to
the statement. I think the one thing, Richard, is our identity right now is on the mound. We're pitching very, very well. Offensively, we have not really just taken off and clicked like we had hoped, but we've come to the conclusion it's not how many runs you score, it's when you score them, and we've been able to piece that together along with some really, really great pitching performances, both from our starters and our bullpen pieces that we've put together. So with those two combinations, and hadn't shot ourselves in the foot much defensively with errors, so that's certainly helped keep the runs down, the opponent's runs down. So we've been able to balance all that together and win 8 of our last 9. So certainly we'd like to take a little pressure off and score more runs with that, but right now we're just trying to do the best we can at winning baseball games.
So let's unpack that a little bit more. Let's start with defense, which at the beginning of the year I don't think was exactly where you wanted it. What has happened that has allowed your guys to play better defensively? Is it just confidence or routine plays? What's it been?
Well, I think it's been more routine plays than it has, anything. Of course, when you look at defensive numbers too, our pitching staff has 204 strikeouts to 34 walks. So when you have a lot of strikeouts, there's not a whole lot of defense that has to be played outside of the catcher catching it. And so that's one thing with a strikeout staff that certainly helps your defensive side. But, we have been able to play much cleaner baseball here, particularly the last couple of series, and which has enabled us to really put ourselves in a position to win some games behind our pitchers.
So let's talk about your starters on Friday and Saturday. Hunter Stanley gives you 7 shutout innings on Friday, and then Walker Powell on Saturday, 8 innings, 3 hits, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk through 107 pitches. 75% of those pitches were strikes?
Yeah, he really pitched well, and for that he was named co-pitcher of Conference USA for the week. So, Walker's got 23 scoreless innings, consecutive innings now under his belt, and has really just taken the mound with a presence, honestly, as a professional. Somebody asked me the other day, what have I seen in the difference in Walker and how he's grown through the years? And, to me, it's just his ability to go out and work a pitch-by-pitch game, not relying on every pitch to go his way, but moving on to the next pitch. The maturity that he is now shows is a great model for the rest of our staff to learn by. But more importantly, I think it just allows him to settle in and pitch the way he's been pitching.
And then you talked about the offense maybe not being where you want it to be, but timely hits, so important. And Reed Trimble drives in a couple of runs in a low-scoring game yesterday for you guys to get the sweep and win 3-1.
Yeah, we just haven't, just banged it around and scored a lot of runs. And what we're trying to really harp on is just the understanding the anatomy of an at-bat, a good at-bat, and it doesn't necessarily mean you have to have a hit. Just like yesterday, our third run was nothing but a fielder's choice on a 6-3 with a runner at third, less than 2 outs, which was a great at-bat, which has eluded us so many times this young season that we have failed to do that and put it in place. So we're taking baby steps in the direction that we're trying to get to kind of open up this offense and help us to manufacture more runs.
So how do you during the course of a season, how do you instill confidence in your guys at the plate when, I mean, look, they can look up at the stat sheet and see where the team batting average is or where they are individually. So how do you get them to not worry about batting average and let it be about quality at bats and starting to gain confidence at the plate?
Well, everybody talks about baseball being a game of failure, and it is a game of failure. It's all about failure. It's how you deal with that failure. But it also is a game of opportunity that comes before failure or success. And I think what you have to be able to concentrate on, and what we're trying to get them to concentrate on, is the opportunity that you have at that at bat. And it doesn't necessarily mean getting a hit determines whether you're successful. Like the other night against Lafayette's starter on Friday, we had him at 68 pitches through 4 innings. And, I mean, his numbers were way up there. Now, he had some strikeouts, and we had a couple of 10 pitch at-bats that drove those numbers up. And they were strikeouts. But, Richard, they were great at-bats because it had a purpose behind it. It was really running that guy's pitch count up on a Friday night to help us get in the bullpen and expose those guys and work them down before we ever played Saturday and Sunday's games. So just those little things of understanding how to compete and what it takes to compete to have a great at bat should, and we're hoping gives these guys confidence that when that is basically grasped, then the hits will start falling, and then confidence just starts rolling itself over.
Let's go back to where we started with the pitching. When you look at Garrett Ramsey's numbers, 6 appearances, 6 saves, 13 strikeouts, 1 walk. He's given up 3 hits all year long. I mean, do you just have all the confidence in the world handing him the ball and saying, hey, we need you to finish it?
Yeah, pretty much. Back when Nick Sandlin was here as a freshman, he was our back end guy. He was our true closer his freshman year. And we haven't had that true closer since that freshman year, because when he moved to a sophomore, we kind of transitioned him into, maybe there was games where we had to bring him in the 6th because we may never see him in the 9th. So we're not going to leave him out there.
Yeah.
So, and then he became a starter in his junior year and was drafted and is doing well now with Cleveland. But Garrett is that, to us, is that true closer guy that now you can put on the back end and you get to him. And I think the important thing is we have some other guys that are capable of bridging us to that back end to get to Garrett. So it's, not necessarily you have to burn him in the 6th on a Tuesday, for a couple of 3 innings. You got some other pieces that you can use, but having Garrett as that guy, as that true closer, certainly we're very excited about what he's been able to do and accomplish. In the fall, it was about consistency, putting outing after outing together, and he's been able to do that. In the fall, it was a little inconsistent, but this spring he's been right on.
Well, you're certainly playing well, and you'll need to continue that this week. A challenging week in front of you. You go to Tuscaloosa for a game tomorrow night against a good Alabama team, and then 4 games against I'll just repeat myself, a good Louisiana Tech team coming into your place this weekend. Big week, right?
Oh, big week, yeah. First is Bama tomorrow, and like you said, they're playing well. They're 15-5. They're 11-2 at home. They gave Arkansas a shocking loss, I guess, on Friday, 16-1.
Yeah.
So we've got our hands full there. But then after we get through with that game, then we move on to conference play that opens up here in Hattiesburg this Friday in a new format, 4-game series now in Conference USA, a single 9 on Friday, 2 7s on Saturday, and a single 9 on Sunday, and playing a red-hot Louisiana Tech baseball team that gave Arkansas a week ago Sunday their first loss, and then really handed the Ole Miss Rebels a tough loss on Tuesday, and then went to New Orleans, where it's never easy to go down there and play, and swept Tulane. So, they're playing as good as anybody, certainly in our league, and one of the tops in the